bargain in the NBA right now. $1.9 million, and he's been able to step up and really contribute in key moments, which is terrific. Now, Dame tonight with the 42. Brooke Olzendam caught up with him on the floor after the game.
Position with our back against the wall tonight, and we responded the way, real connected teams do.
Memphis has one of the best defenses in the league. You dropped 41. How were you able to carve them up like you did?
It's not easy. You know what I mean? They got, like you said, they protect the rim well with Jaren Jackson. Dylan Brooks is physical, competitive defender on the perimeter. He cares about, putting guys down. So it wasn't easy. It's just, you got to be conditioned physically and mentally to face these types of challenges, and you got to have true confidence. And you got to trust your work, even when it's tough out there. And that's all I count on. That's all I lean on. And on top of that, you got to be a competitor. You got to compete and embrace those challenges. And that's what I did. And it was whatever was necessary to get the win.
Have you ever had a 7-point play? And what did that feel like tonight?
I had a 7-point play?
Yeah.
I haven't. What play was that?
Where you got the three-pointer, the flagrant?
Yeah, it was back-to-back like that. That was the first time, but like I said, with Jeremy and Nurk out, I knew I would have to be a little more aggressive. I knew they would be pretty aggressive in the pick-and-roll coverage. So I had to just raise up quick on a couple. So I know they didn't intend to run under me or nothing like that, but sometimes the defenders are in a tough position, and, it just happened to turn out that way.
That was a fun game to watch. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. There's Dame following the 42-point performance to go along with 10 assists. Blazers get the win 122 to 112. Burkhart, what's going on here, man? What's up with this game? Impressive. Down Nurk, no Grant. And the Blazers get 42 from Dame, 14 in the fourth from Ant, and a bunch of guys off the bench to make a contribution. Going into the game, I didn't think they had a chance in HE double hockey sticks at winning this one, and yet they pull it out. Nice.
I used to say that all the time as a kid, just thinking it really meant 2 hockey sticks because we used to play like roller hockey in the cul-de-sac all the time. What a naive kid I was. But I'm with you. I didn't think they had a chance either. This is Memphis. They're one of the best teams in the NBA for a reason. And the interesting part is Portland got out-physicaled by Toronto just a few games ago, and then here they were matching Memphis's physicality. And you can say, and they did it without Nurk, but you do have to remember the Grizzlies didn't have Steven Adams either. But what I like about this one is what I've liked about all the games, even the L's, is the fact that they got out of that early hole and they battled back, and you like that. They just got to find a way to stop getting into that hole and then relying on these big miraculous runs at the end of a game to make it a game. But this one was an interesting one because you and I kind of looked at each other and said, this is going to be interesting because we know how the Blazers are when it comes to closing games.
Yeah.
And they closed this one out.
Yeah, they hammered them in the fourth, 38-22 edge in the fourth for Portland. I didn't see that one coming because really the one of the big bugaboos, 2 of them lately, has been slow starts and poor finishes. Those back and forth games in the fourth have not gone their way of late. So, and this is really their first road win since December, but the first win they've had over a quality opponent in months.
No, not only that, this is the quality of the quality opponents, the top of the quality opponents. This isn't a team that is just sitting there hovering at 500 and then you can put a feather in your cap and say you beat a team that's 500 or better. No, this is a legit contender, a team that might make some moves to even fortify their defenses here as the trade deadline approaches, but has championship aspirations. Yeah, Ja Morant really wasn't a threat tonight, but yeah, jokes, right? He's a stud. The dude almost had a triple-double, had one until a rebound was pulled away. Jaren Jackson's defense was stellar. Dylan Brooks was quiet but had good defense all night. Like, the Blazers had to play a really good game to get this. I don't think this is a game that Memphis kind of threw away or lost themselves. I think Portland pulled it out late and surprised them.
I almost pulled my hair out. Mike Lynch, during the Blazers postgame show, said that Ja Morant was not much of a threat tonight. And I was like, wait, what? Ja Morant tonight, in a losing effort, 34 minutes, 32 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds on 8 of 16 shooting and attempted 18 free throws. If that's not a threat, I don't know what is, but I love watching him play. He's aggressive. He attacks the rim fearlessly. He's just, seeing him and Dame on the floor is a treat. Those two guys are epic. And the Grizzlies, you can see why they're tough to play because they speed you up, they make you uncomfortable, and they play helter-skelter. And that's what's so impressive about the win tonight is that Portland showed toughness down the stretch. They did.
Oh,
undersized, too, and they showed toughness.
Yes, indeed, they did. No Grant in there, no Nurk in there. And I said it, and it's my hot tweet of the night. But, man, I'm going to start a GoFundMe page to get a statue of Drew Eubanks erected in downtown Old Troutdale because he deserves it. Holy smokes.
He's a tough SOB, too. Eubanks is a tough SOB. All right, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. We'll come back on fifth quarter, and we'll take your calls. We're going to hear from Chauncey Billups, and we'll keep things rolling. A big win tonight for Portland, 122-112. And now they'll move on and get ready for the Wizards on Friday. 503-248-0620. Blazers win. It's Chad Dewey and Chris Burkhardt here in the fifth quarter.
Every pro is an MVP to us. As a Lowe's MVP's Rewards member, you can earn bonus points when you shop select products and brands. Then redeem them for exciting rewards, like tools.
It's time for the Portland Trailblazers Drive of the Night, here on the fifth quarter, hosted by Chad Dewing, 620 Rip City Radio. Drive of the Night is brought to you by Dick's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Wilsonville, ready to compete with the lowest prices in town.
Bain on the other end, the drive rejected from behind by Payton. Chased him down and blocked it. Now here come the Blazers with it. Here's Hart, kicks to Dame, rotates to Eubanks, slams it down. Blazers lead 106-105.
They're balling in Memphis.
Well, I tell you what, the plays late in that game were terrific. As I mentioned before, Ant had 14 of his 26 in the fourth. The back-to-back threes from Dame put the Blazers up for good, and that first three that he hit from the corner, as he was off balance, moving in one direction, he fired it up and knocked it down. That's a bad, bad boy right there. Tough shot. The high degree of difficulty, and then the next play he got set up, straight away from the wing and just swished it in. But that was terrific. And he also found Eubanks down the floor for that breakaway dunk and the and one, and that put Portland up 117-109 to put the game away. But that was, a good finish for Portland. 38-22 advantage in the fourth. They also scored 28 points off of 13 Grizzlies turnovers. So a good response to both Grant and Nurk being out of the game. Grant left the game with a suspected concussion, but I think he was cleared of that. So we don't know what his status is for Friday's game yet. Nurk left, I believe, with the calf situation again. And Casey Holdaw said he was in a boot. We do not have an update on him either, but the Blazers will be in Washington to meet the Wizards on Friday. That tip-off at 4 with game day starting once again at 1:30 here on 620 Rip City Radio. Dan in Southeast is back. What's up, Dan?
Hey, great win, man. Tonight's game was kind of like putting on a familiar sweater, and I'm just kicking myself that I didn't make this call earlier when I called in this afternoon. I was so busy talking about draft picks. I didn't make the call. I didn't put it out there. I predicted a win tonight, which is ridiculous. But if there's one thing that's been a constant all season with this era, you just don't know what you're going to get. And going into Memphis, them playing as well as they did, conventional wisdom would say that we would not have much of a shot in that game, but I'm like, that's just where we're most difficult. And as the game went on and Nurk's out and then Grant goes down, unfortunately, and I'm like, yes, pile it on. Put the odds against us. This is Rip City, and what do you know? They pull out a win. It was awesome to see. I don't know what to say about Dame other than, the guy's having a special season when you're like, yeah, Dame with 30, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's playing pretty well. Like, 30 is the norm for this guy now, and it's to the point that I don't even really sit up until he's past 35 and shooting for 40 and beyond. Insane. I've had mixed reviews on the Trent and Watford experience, but I got to hand it to him. He showed a lot of energy and was a catalyst out there, and if he can bring that consistently, that's all good. Ant, he played so well, and that's what it's going to take. Like, if this team has any shot at doing anything, let alone making noise in the postseason, just getting to the postseason, he's going to have to play that well. I think we miss that sometimes because he's new in this role and it's hard being the second fiddle to Dame and all that. That kind of effort, he's going to have to play at an all-star level. Like, being a good starting shooting guard isn't going to do it. Being above average isn't going to do it. Like, you can't be Jordan Clarkson. You can't be Terry Rozier. He's got to be great in order for this team to be great. I mean, it's just that simple. And if he can bring that consistently, we know he has the talent. That's what it's going to take. It was awesome to see tonight. I love it when we beat Memphis. Rip City, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, love it, buddy. Appreciate the phone call. And, this team right now is very reliant upon both Dame and Ant to shoot the ball well and score to be able to win. So he's right. Ant's got to play terrific basketball. And tonight he was huge. I mean, the shot making in the fourth quarter kept Portland in a position to strike and win the game. Without his timely buckets, they're not winning that game tonight because they wouldn't be in a position late for Dame to hit those back-to-back threes and, put the game out of reach. Let's go to Victor in Turkey. Victor, you got to be happy because your boy Ant was terrific tonight.
Oh, my God. I love you, man. I cannot tell you. If I tell you something, well, it's going to be long story. But I was so excited, I was going to hurt myself because the old culture. I tell you, man, the old culture. The Turkey, some other Middle Eastern countries, they have like 5,000, well, more than 5,000 years old culture. Now, America, America has about 400 years. But that doesn't mean that because America is the most advanced country, no matter they have 400 years culture. But the thing about the old culture, we have a ritual. We have a ritual. It's very complex. It started in Brandon Rowe, I don't know what's long time ago. Brandon Rowe, when he was playing, I went to that ritual that anytime the Blazer wants to lose, I turn it around. I go to that ritual. It takes a lot of energy. It's very complicated. But we have it in the United States too. You see in science fiction, and also you see sometimes some news. People sit around the corner. All the people sit around the corner and they have candles. They have it in America too. So that's a ritual, and also. It could be a bad convention. It could be a good. Some people, they ask for the devil coming in the ritual. Some people, they ask for the God coming. But what I'm saying, I always have a positive impact on that. So I went to ritual. I said, well, everybody expects the Blazer lose this game. I went to ritual because I was hurt when the Blazer lost against the Raptors. I was really hurt. My heart was hurt. And I said, God, man, I cannot do that anymore. And I went to a ritual, and believe me, when the Blazers were down 10 points, I feel in my heart, I said the Blazers are going to win. I mean, you cannot believe it. So what I'm saying is, I don't know, for one person, for one ritual like me, if the result, the game can be changed. That is not logical. Nobody believes in that. That's not logical. But I believe it in myself that anytime I had that ritual and good feeling about the Blazers, especially in a tough game, they did it. It happened in Brandon Rowe, and it happened now. And I have to tell you, my friend, I'm glad that the previous callers, and also yourself, they praise, Ann Simon. Believe me, Chad, this Ann Simon, right now he's a baby. He's the coach called him a baby. In a couple of years, or maybe next year, he'll be somebody like a John Morant. Believe me, if he's improving his games, he has to be more explosive. But his 3-point is better than John Morant. Maybe statistically, maybe his 3-pointer maybe is even better, but he's not that explosive. But I'm happy that you supported him, But what I'm saying, I never give up on my guys, man. I hope that the Blazers win the other games. I go to that ritual again for the next game. But I appreciate your input, man.
Oh, you got it. I appreciate the phone call, Victor. The Blazers have issues, but after Dame, Ant is the least of their concern. You got to remember, he is right now the same age Dame was in the second year of his career. It's only the second year where he's had meaningful minutes, and this is the first year where he's learning to play with Dame. So that's a process that takes time. And as he continues to get more comfortable in understanding how that marriage between he and Dame works when he's on the floor, he'll be more aggressive, he'll attack more, and he'll continue to be productive. So I've got no concerns about Ant. He's going to be fine. He is. He's a baby. And in terms of minutes played, he's a baby. And just look at the production right now. Let's go out to Eastside Mark. What's up, Eastside Mark?
How you doing, my friend?
I know. Long time no chat, brother.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. We won another game, but we're not yet a 500 ball club. What's going on, Chad?
Well, issues. It's the same as it always is. They need more talent. They've had some injury issues, and they're not good enough defensively.
Defense, I'm so tired of that word. It just seems being an Oregon native doesn't mean anything. You start talking defense in the Blazers. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Hey, listen, are you downtown or are you way out in Tiger?
I'm out in Tigard right now.
I'm headed downtown. I'm taking a young lady to the Elvis room,
Oh,
which
sweet.
I've never heard of. Yeah, but I've got these football cards, the quarterbacks for you.
Well,
I've still got them in my.
Well, we got to hook up, but the problem is the last couple of times you've reached out to me, you've hit me up before I get done with work and asked me to come out to Gresham. I live in Vancouver, so Gresham and Vancouver are opposite ends of the spectrum, and so that's not a good transition from leaving work to Gresham to get back to Vancouver. That's not a good transition, but we can make this happen.
Okay, I'm thinking a fancy coffee Friday at the Dutch Bros right there on Airport Way and 82nd before you go into work.
I'm trying to think of where that's at. Yeah, we can probably. I think that's probably the best way to do it. We can connect before I get on this side of town. That's probably the best way to do it.
Before you get, we'll do a fancy coffee Friday. Coffee's on me. I'll buy you a coffee, and I'll give you these quarterbacks. And no better time to get that done before the Super Bowl. So, anyways, I'll tell you what. I'll check in with you. I'll message you early Friday. And why don't you keep in the back of your mind about us having coffee and getting quarterback cards somewhere around 1?
It might need to be a little bit before that. But, yeah, just shoot me a text, buddy. Hit me up, Mark, with the text, and we'll figure it out. 503-248-0620. All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter, and we'll give you a scoreboard report. And we're going to hear from Chauncey as well, following the Blazers' surprising 122-112 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies tonight at FedEx Forum. 42 points, 10 assists for Damian Lillard.
The fifth quarter poster play of the night is brought to you by Collection Connection, the leaders in framing sports memorabilia, team awards, and so much more. Collection Connection offers you a one-stop, full-service framing experience. Find them online at COLLCONN.com.
Now he gets to the top of the key, drives left, throws it to the corner. Jackson three-pointer is an air ball. Clark the rebound, knocked out of his hand, stolen. Dame's got it, feeds Eubanks in the break. Eubanks in the drive, hammers it down. And he puts Jaren Jackson Jr. into the vault, a double-double on the birthday of Drew Eubanks.
He gave himself a birthday present. Cake, icing, candles, and then he let Jaren Jackson blow out the candles at the rim.
The fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio presents the Scoreboard Report, brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill, A-Linnae's ultimate venue for sports fans every Monday night, featuring beer and wing specials and more.
All right, let's get you up to date around the association tonight. Into the third quarter right now in Utah, the Jazz lead the Raptors 96-92. Markkanen, 21 points, 10 boards through three quarters. Second quarter in Phoenix, Hawks lead the Suns 44-26. Dejounte Murray with 10 points. A final in Philadelphia, Sixers 105, Magic 94. James Harden, 26 points, 9 boards, 10 assists. Celtics 139, Nets 96 in Boston. Tatum 31 points, 9 rebounds. Rockets over the Thunder in Houston 112-106. Eason 20 points, 13 boards, 3 steals. A final in overtime in Minnesota. Timberwolves 119, Warriors 114. Steph Curry 29 points, 10 boards. The Kings over the Spurs in San Antonio 119-109. Sabonis had 34 points, 11 rebounds. And that is your night in the association. Of course, the Trailblazers took out the Grizzlies tonight by a final score of 122-112. Let's go ahead and step into the coach's corner. We'll hear from Coach Billups.
It's time for the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups on Blazers Game Day, presented by Henderson & Daughter. Henderson & Daughter has been supplying superior design service, quality windows, entry doors, patio doors, and window installation to the Portland and Southwest Washington area since 1977. Before you decide to just replace your current windows or exterior doors, have our designers present you with a free in-home design consultation and estimate to show you the different styles we carry that can give your home a fresh new look. Henderson & Daughter, your window and door experts.
All right, here's Coach Billups after the Blazers' 10-point win over Memphis.
One of the best teams in basketball on their home floor. So I'm just happy for us coming out and fighting through a lot of adversity. 2 starters down, pretty much. Nurk couldn't go. Happy he gave us a little bit, but he just couldn't go. But, man, that was just a hell of a win. There was just so many guys that came off the bench and played so good for us. So many great contributions.
Let's just kind of run down a little bit. Obviously, he's been doing this for a couple weeks now. Davian tonight, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we hopped on his back, and he led us like he always does. He controlled the tempo and the pace of the game with how he played. He mixed it up a lot, attacking to facilitate and attacking the score. I thought he did a good job of keeping their defense off balance, and this is just, incredible game for him.
Ant as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and man, had some really big ones late in the game when I felt Dame was probably a little bit tired, from carrying us most of the night. And Ant did what he does. He came in and hit some timely baskets. Kept the defense off balance as well. Hit some big mid-range shots, got to the basket. Ant was really good, and I was happy that he stayed aggressive even though he was in foul trouble.
Foul trouble was an issue all night, but you guys were able to get through it in the second half. It seemed like
Yeah, and we did. And guys like Trendon, I'm just so happy for Trendon. To me, you look at the numbers, and Trendon had, 5 points, 3 but this dude played an incredible game. That's why you can't look at numbers when it's guys like Trendon Watford, because his impact is just so large. His playmaking, he did a good job of rebounding. If he couldn't get it, he made sure his man didn't get it. He's an extra ball handler out there for us when teams like this, that pressure. Trendon was big time. Drew was big time, tonight as well. So man, I was just so happy. GP gave us great men. Like, just so many guys were big for us.
Could you talk a little more about Drew's game? Obviously, getting thrust in with Nurk out. That's that huge dunk there at the end.
Oh, man. Yeah, Drew, I mean, Drew's just steady Eddie. You know, he continues to do what he's called to do every single time we put him in there. And today, obviously, 2-3 minutes into the game, he's thrust into it. So you already know he's going to play more minutes than his usual rotation. But not only that, he just gives us so much fight and so much toughness and grit. He goes and gets tough rebounds for us, tough block shots, and that play on the break was it made us all so happy. To see him be the one.
And any updates on Jeremy or Nurk and what their status might be going forward?
Yeah, I have nothing right now. I have nothing as far as updates are concerned. I'm pretty sure these guys will update you when they know, but it's unfortunate that they both went down. Hopefully it's not long for either one.
All right, there's Coach Billups, very complimentary of the role players tonight who stepped up in the absence of Nurk and Grant, which is terrific. Blazers get the win, and we'll wait to see what the reports are on both Grant and Nurk and find out maybe something tomorrow about their availability for Friday. All right, if you're on hold, stay there, 503-248-0620. Blazers get the win, 122-112, fifth quarter here on your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
It's time for the Nothing But Net Shot of the Night here on the fifth quarter, 620 Rip City Radio. The Nothing But Net Shot of the Night is brought to you by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Walker looks to get it in. He finds Drew Eubanks. Eubanks just inside the arc. Holds onto it, dribbles right. Now he gives it to Dame. Dame on the wing. Three-pointer on the way. Buries it. 7-point possession for Damian Lillard to tie the game at 67. 11-0 Trailblazers run.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Travis.
There you go. The Blazers get the win tonight, 122-112. Dame 42 points, 10 assists, and 14 of his 26 in the fourth. Double-double for Drew Eubanks, 11 points, 11 rebounds. And we know that Jeremy Grant is not in the concussion protocol, so that is good news for the Blazers moving forward. 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Ron in Salt Lake. Chris and I were treated to he and his family in studio over the weekend on Saturday. He's back. What's up, Ron?
Hey, Chad, I was just telling Chris when we were chatting for a few minutes, I can't thank you enough for that opportunity on Saturday. That was a blast, and just to see where you guys operate, and for all the listeners out there, these guys are as cool and genuine and as friendly and as nice in person as, they come across on the radio. So that was, I can't thank you enough. That was a thrill.
No, you got it, man. It was awesome to have you guys in here. I love your family.
Well, they loved meeting you guys, and it was just it was an incredible evening. So thanks again. But I just wanted to say, as I was watching the game tonight, during a timeout, I found myself thinking about Dame, and it got me thinking about Blazer fans over the years. We all know the heartbreak and the disappointing things that we've experienced, from the coin flip that ended up getting Sam Bowie, unfortunately Brandon Roy's knees, Greg Oden's injury, the Game 7 loss in the Western Conference Finals to the Lakers, Wesley Matthews and his Achilles tear, Nurk's broken leg. I mean, and there's more and more to that list. But I said to myself tonight, and I've said this before, we can't take for granted, all the ups and downs with the team and the trade deadline and disappointments that come here and there and everything else. We cannot take for granted or forget how lucky we are as Blazer fans to be able to watch a generational talent like Damian Lillard night in and night out and just watch that. Sometimes we get frustrated with the losing and, things like that here and there. But I just said to myself tonight, you know what? You got to enjoy every single game to watch this guy play ball. And it's just, we're so lucky. And I feel fortunate as a Blazer fan to be able to cheer him on and off the court. And tonight again, he put on a performance. He carried that team on his shoulders. The line at halftime, I don't know what the line at halftime was with Nurk out, with Grant out, but the odds of us winning that game were so small. But Dame, in his mind, he doesn't care about that stuff. He puts the team on his back, and he just gets it done every single night. And we need to be fortunate and recognize that. He's big time, and we're lucky.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that, man. He is. He's a treasure. It's too bad that I really believe that the franchise has squandered his greatness to a degree with some of the poor decision-making at the top. But Dame's awesome. Great leadership, toughness, great shot maker. He has worked hard each and every offseason to get better as he's progressed throughout his career. The guy is terrific. And Chris has been around him for years, on the road, at home, traveled around, and he's the same guy every night. And Burkhart tells me that all the time. How consistent is Dame night in, night out, at the arena, at the practice facility in terms of dealing with the press?
Dame never wavers. He is the exact same. Where you see him in media is the same that he is when those cameras aren't rolling. And I've had many fortunate opportunities to just have some conversations with him on the road before, just two dudes talking about wrestling or something like that, and he's just chill. That's just the presence that he gets out there that the media sees and his PR arm obviously works with is not fake about him, and it doesn't change, doesn't waver. He is one of the greats off the court. It's pretty amazing.
All right, let's go out to, all right, look at this. Lynn. This is Lynn out in Longview, probably at, Burkhart, what's your prediction? Is he at one of the local taverns up there in Longview? And I've been in Longview before. It's not the prettiest town in the country. A lot of taverns.
I just want to know if Len's smart enough to stop at the convenience store before he gets to the tavern.
So he doesn't have to head over to the smoke
he
dispenser?
complains about him being out of cigarettes. Come prepared, Len.
Yeah, because I'm imagining that I would do the same thing. If I ran a tavern, I would raise the price of the stogies, right?
Right.
The smokes. I'm raising the price on you. Sorry.
I also want to know what tavern he frequents, because the only tavern I can think of in my head that would even have an old school cigarette dispenser has to be a tavern that's attached to a bowling alley. like that's just what I see in my head.
It's good. It's good. Let's go out there right now. Lynn in Longview. Hey, Lynn, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing?
I'm a lot better than Custer right now. a lot better than Custer, son. Hey, they had the sound down again here. Did they win?
The Blazers won by 10, 122-112 over the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, I hate Memphis, so that's good. that's pretty good. We knocked off a little early today and came. Well, I knocked off. I sent the crew out, and I said, just leave when you want. I came down here a little early today, so I'm well into my night here, and just trying to secure myself a little company for the evening, if you catch my drift, you know?
Yeah, I think I do. Yes, a little company.
So, hey, wait, before I forget, I wanted to ask you something.
Okay, what do you got for me, Lynn? What's the question?
When am I going to be able to come down and hang out with you there?
You talking about hang out with Chris and I in studio?
Hell yeah.
Well, I haven't really thought about it. Are you serious about your request?
I don't play around.
Well, I think what might be better is if Chris and I bring the show on the road and come up to you and have fifth quarter after dark in Longview one night.
Yeah, now we're talking now. I could talk to the Oregon Way. Well, I'm here right now. I could talk to the owner, and I bet they would have you. I bet for sure they would. Hey, wait. How did Chief look tonight?
Let me check the box score here. Chief had 24 points and 9 rebounds.
Oh, wow. I told you last time Chief is coming on, right?
You did. You called it.
You kind of said I was right. So I think Chief is going to kind of keep going. He might have a little cold streak here and there. You know, every man has a little cold streak here and there, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I hope you don't have a cold streak tonight.
No, I'm not. You know, I'm going to be trying to be quiet here. You know, sometimes you see one that you swear she's 45, but she looks 28. You don't know if she's 45 or 28, and they don't light these places very good. So, you know, one time, I thought that I was bringing home a nice kitten, and it ended up being a skunk. It was a very, very hard night for me, but I just said, oh, I don't feel good. I don't feel good, and that kind of got me out of it. So, all right. Well, I gotta go now. I got some things to do here, and I heard you talking about. I got a carton out in the truck, and I'm gonna get some right now. So you have a good night, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Good night.
There you go. That answers your question, Burkhart. Lynn had a carton in the truck.
Just glad he came prepared this time.
What do you say there? Sometimes you think you're bringing home a kitten and wind up with a skunk.
Yeah, that's certainly an analogy for something. Metaphor.
All right.
No, speaking of that, before you leave, I know
you ever been sprayed by a skunk?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, but my uncle was. Remember I was telling you the other day about my family's lake house?
Yes.
Yeah, he was sprayed by a skunk up there. He had a brand new pair of Nikes. It destroyed the Nikes, and his wife made him sleep on the hammock for the entire weekend. Didn't want him in the tent. Yeah, he got nailed pretty hard. But I haven't. Okay. Now, before we leave, talking about you think you're getting a cat and you get a skunk. That leads perfectly into what might be the greatest moment in Blazers Grizzlies history. Do you know what that is? It happened 6 years ago, almost to the day.
I know someone hit a game winner. Was it CJ?
I'm going to tell you, you're overthinking it because it had nothing to do with what happened on the court. I'm going to remind you, fans, it was about 6 years ago today because it was January 27th.
Okay.
That this clip happened, and I want to see if you remember it, Chad.
Out there, Portland fans.
How's your knee?
Fans. My knee is getting better. I can't wait to get on the court, man. That was a crazy game, huh?
It was. It was.
Anchor down. Anchor down.
What just happened? I don't even know if he knew we were for the Grizzlies.
Probably not.
I'm glad someone told me who he was.
I'm glad someone told me who he was. Now, you're drawing a blank. What this was after a Blazer-Grizzly game. Festus Ezeli, who hadn't played a single minute as a Blazer, walks over to the Memphis Grizzly broadcast TV crew. They're on TV, puts his arms around all of them, and just starts going, hey, Rip City, hey, Portland fans, and he's hamming it up. And the announcer's just looking over his shoulder like, what is going on? And that's when they're like, how's the knee? Being funny. Oh, yeah, it's good. Can't wait to be out there. He waves at him and walks off. He thought he was talking to the Blazers post-game show, and that's where the Grizzlies announcer drops that. I'm glad someone told me who he was. The audio's great, but look it up if you're out there. Just jump on Twitter, jump on your Google machine, just type in Ezeli Grizzlies. It will end up popping up. It's one of my favorite Blazers-Grizzly moments and encapsulates all that was the Festus Ezeli tenure as a Portland Trailblazer.
Wow, he left a mark.
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, a skid mark.
He had no idea what was going on.
Like, that's embarrassing, right?
Like, it would have been funny if Festus was one actually playing.
Right.
And maybe if he was a former Grizzly, was able to walk over there and...
Nope, wasn't even a former Grizzly.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I overthought it.
You did. You overthought it.
That's good. Nice pull. All right. Any final parting words of wisdom before we roll, Burkhart?
Yeah, my parting words of wisdom out there is enjoy the win. It's okay. It's okay to sometimes ignore the big picture and just enjoy a night of good basketball and a win you didn't expect going. You don't always have to be a wet blanket like our friend Nick is on the YouTube chat over here, just trying to bring all the positivity down. Everyone's having a good time. And, maybe he's a wet blanket, but maybe he's soaked in kerosene. Throw a match on it. Watch it burn, all right? Just have some fun. It's okay to be excited with one game and still, understand that there's bigger things out there. Moves might need to happen. But when you win a game you didn't think you were supposed to, it's fandom in a nutshell, baby. Enjoy it.
Yeah, that was unexpected and a pleasure for sure. All right, that's going to do it for us. Be sure to join us tomorrow. Rip City Mornings with Justin kicks off at 9. And then the Rip City Drive tomorrow at 3, followed by high school basketball at 6:25. And our next Blazer broadcast will come up on Friday. The Blazers are going to be in D.C. to take on the Wizards. Game day at 1:30, tip-off at 4. Your final score from FedEx Forum in Memphis tonight. Behind 42 points from Dame, Blazers top the Grizz 122-112. For Chris Burkhart, I'm Chad Doing. Thanks to all of you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.